Yep, that's me, Franny.
Hi, welcome back to FrannyTings. I know what you're thinking, like, bitch, where the fuck are you? Like, you got this whole ass logo behind you. Like, who the fuck is this guy next to you? So we're actually in LA. Woo! So I'm out here for a little content trip, and I wanted to interview John, which is a long friend of mine, and he actually was my dance coach in high school, but fast forward to like 7 years later, we are now a front cover of a magazine. So John came to Miami around January, and he's like, oh my God, bitch, I'm in Miami. Let's create some content. And I'm like, period, let's do it. So we came up with this content, which you see here in the front cover of a magazine. And I submitted it to Mob Journal, which is the publication that I chose to upload these pictures on, and we made it to the front back cover and an 8-page fucking spread. Period. So I wanted to get John into my podcast because I feel like John is a very, very creative person, and you know, I'm super lucky to have you as a friend because I feel like I've learned a lot from you. So the way we met is in high school. Yeah. And he was actually it first started that you were in Ebony with me. But I was like, I think a sophomore and you were a senior.
Yeah, something like
that. Yeah. And then I auditioned for Ebony because I'm like, bitch, I'm a dancer.
I want to dance.
I could dance, you know. And John was the captain at the time. So I made it into Ebony, and then he graduated, but he still remained the captain of our dance team, the coach. And yeah, and then after that, you know, like, he just really gave us the motivation and tortured us until we got the choreography right and gave us a lot of discipline, which helped a lot. But so fast forward a couple years later, John left to LA, and he's been there ever since. When is it that you left to LA? Was it right after high school?
No, graduated 13, and then I moved here 2015.
Okay. Yes, so you've been here since 2015, and so John is now an assistant stylist for really big artists such as Ariana Grande, Cardi B, Camila Cabello, and seeing that growth, I feel like is fucking crazy because it's like I look at you and I'm like, yeah, like you can literally make anything fucking happen. So seeing, you know, where you once were, just like kind of giving us like, you know, these little routines and choreography to where you are now, because you don't also just assistant style, you also creative direct your concepts for music videos, your concepts for your dance I mean, I guess concepts as well. So I wanted to get into that and just talk more about your journey and like what made you want to come to LA, like what made you want to say fuck Miami and come over here.
Well, like I love Miami because it's like I feel like that's where I became me, you know. But after like I started dancing in Miami, that was like where everything started, and like I joined the studio, and then I did Ebony. We started in Ebony first, like I was scared, and I auditioned, and then I joined a studio, Showstopper. Shout out
Showstopper.
And then there I kind of like found myself and like my style and all that. And then after doing it for like a couple years, I was just like very obsessed with the whole LA idea and like Hollywood and like famous, and I'm like,
you're like, I just want to be famous.
I'm like, when's my time? You know, I'm like, famous. So I knew I always wanted to move here. So it was kind of like, oh, I don't know. In my head, I'm like, I'm gonna live in LA and go to college there. I don't even go to school, but I was like, that was my dream. And then at one point, after dancing for I don't want to say I like conquered the dance world in Miami, but I was just kind of like, okay, I want something new. I was just like, I always felt like my style was never for Miami, like, or I was just like different from everybody else. Like my style, like even like how I look, I was never like the standard to like the dancer that they were booking or anything like that. So I was like, I never took it offense. I was just like, okay, I'm just not that. So I'm like, LA is more open. They're more like, you know. So yeah, then I was like, you know what? Me and like a couple friends were like, it's time to go. I'm like, yeah, because I was always watching videos and following so many like dancers and artists from here. So I was always like, oh, I love that. And then I moved here, and I moved here without ever visiting. I packed 3 bags and moved here. It was
That's
me
fucking
and
crazy.
couple, like my other friend, and yeah, we just did it. She came first, and then I came like 6 months later after like I like figured my life out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I moved here without visiting. 3 bags, like $500. Like nothing. I was like, fuck it, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And you know,
yeah, figure it out. That's your
motto.
motto. Figure it out.
FIO, I'll figure it out. And it's been crazy. Like, craziest thing I've ever done for sure.
Yeah.
But I kind of like the craziness of it.
Yeah,
it's
the
like,
roller coaster.
Yeah, like it's like a story.
Yeah.
I'll write a book.
Yeah, I'll write a book one day.
No, but yeah, it's been crazy. But yeah, it's part of the journey. You know?
I feel like when I first saw you move to LA, I feel like you were working so many different jobs. I think you were like, like a scarer in like a Halloween.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Creep LA.
Creep LA. I was like,
fun.
Wait, what is this? Hold on.
Yeah, I like found that on, because you know here there's like a lot of like websites that you can like find auditions and castings and stuff you sign up for. So I was like trying to do anything like extra work, audience, and all this anything. Like so I found on a website they were having this audition for this like Halloween immersive theater thing, and I was like, Sure. I need to do something.
Yeah, like us being musical theater baddies.
Right, I'm like,
bitch, I got this in the bag.
Like, this for sure. So I went and I auditioned, and I got there, and it was like all act. They were like looking for dancer.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm like, oh, I'm a dancer.
Yeah.
So like I went, and then when I got there, it was like a whole acting thing, and I was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I did it, and then they gave me like lines that I had to read, and I was like, oh, bitch. And I was like stressed. I'm like, bitch, where's the 8 count? I'm like,
where's the 8 count?
And then they're like, oh, we'll let you know, whatever. And I was like, okay, we'll see. And then like a couple of days or like something, they called me for like that I guess I booked it or whatever. Okay. And I was like, work. And then I went to like the audition, like the rehearsal and stuff, and it was like, it was basically like a haunted house, but it's more like a immersive haunted house. So you like go through like a maze, but each room has like a scene or something. So it's not like a like American, Horror Nights. That's just like scary. Yeah. It's more like a theater. Like it started off like a lounge. People go and drink and like eat, and then they like select like 10 people, and then they take them, like walk them, and then you go through rooms, and then each room has like all this stuff. Yeah. So it was pretty cool. And then my room was like the Sandman. They gave me my own room, and it was like literally like this corner room, and it was like full of sand, and I was like this creature with like my
you were like Beyonce and fucking what's Crazy in Love.
Yes, bitch.
You were like, I've been made for this.
I was like, my moment. No fucking deja vu. She's just like, literally.
Oh my god, period.
So yeah, it was like this whole thing, and people would come in, and like every time it was like a lot of work, because it was like every like 7 minutes a new group would come in. So it was like,
oh bitch, what the fuck?
So I was like,
the sand. You're like, the sand be heavy as fuck now. It's the end of the day, and I'm like,
and then there was this part because I had to like, I was this creature, and I would come into the sand and like do this dancing and like weird thing, and then in the middle of the scene, I had like this like black liquid come out of my mouth. And like,
you had to clean that up every single time, bitch.
Every time. And I was like, at first they did like mouthwash with coloring, and then that would be like, so it would be like mouthwash. But then I was like, I can't do this because it's like, you know the mouthwash that like strong,
the
like,
strong,
I'm
like alcoholic,
and then the smell, I was like, no.
Yeah.
So like we changed it around, and I had like these contacts. It was pretty cool. It was fun. It was something different. A lot of celebrities would go.
Oh. Yeah. And you're like, my name is Johnson.
Yeah. I was like, my headshot, like slide it through, like, hey, like out of character, dressed like that.
You have like the black liquid spewing out of your mouth, like,
I'm like, hey,
look.
Book me. And one of them, Vanessa Hudgens, walked.
Oh, bitch.
Tell me why I missed it. Like, I didn't notice her at all.
Like, Vanessa Hudgens was here? Oh.
I missed her, and I was like, whatever. I did my scene. I went close to everybody. They went by, and then it was like rooms. So the girl before me, we were like friends, and like she come on like, bitch, you saw Vanessa Hudgens? I'm like, where? She's like, she just walked through, and I was like, so
you're like, what about us? What about everything we've been through? What about trust? You're like, mama, I know.
We're breaking. Like,
You like whisper in her ear, like,
like she's like, what the fuck? No, but I was more mad because I didn't recognize her at all. So I did a whole thing, and then she went back. They told me, and I'm like,
wow. You never saw her after she left the room?
I'm like, I could have performed bigger. I would have been like, some like, we're off. But whatever. And one of them, of like a friend, also like friends, went there, and I'm like, I go up, and I'm like, fuck.
Oh.
Like, they're like, work, and I'm like, stop.
Work.
I'm like, this is so awkward, but yeah, that was fun. I did that.
What were like other crazy jobs that I feel like you have experienced? Well, I remember you were performing, like you were in it, and you would also choreograph for like this underground like
Club Jetty.
Yeah, that.
It's like, shout out Club Jetty. That's like
I'm from LA. I know where that is.
Club Jetty is like this like thing that like a choreography showcase.
Oh, okay.
That they do like once a month. And then people either submit or they get invited to like be part of it. And it's like a showcase. So like it's like a night at a club in like West Hollywood, and like everybody goes, like all the dancers, and like anybody could go.
That's fire. So it's like open mic, but for like dancing.
Yeah,
I guess.
But like you like submit, and they book you ahead of time. They'll be like, okay, like in November you are booked,
right.
So like you prep yourself, and then a lot of different choreographers from all over like kind of come and
right.
So like in 2017, I asked, and I'm like, oh, you know, maybe this is my time, because I hadn't choreographed here. You know, I used to choreograph all the time, in Miami, but first I'm like, I need to train, feel the vibe, and I'm like, okay, I think I could do one. And then I submitted, and I got asked to like do it right away. Normally you submit, and then they can tell you like, oh, like in like 4 months or something, but they like, can you do next month? And I was like, oh shit. So like I like did that, and it was really fun. It was really good. And then I done it 3 times. My first one was cute. It was like kind of like an intro. The second one was my favorite. It was like huge. I like made the clothes and everything, and it was like I had all these dancers. And then the third one, I did it with a friend, one of my close friends. We like collab, and we did like one. Yeah,
cute.
I'm waiting for it to come back, because I just love creating there. It's like a small stage, but it's so like it's such a moment.
And I feel like you also did a lot of like video concepts with choreography as well. And like, what is your like process behind that? Like, how did you like think about these ideas, and like just like what made you want to do that in the first place? Like get these concepts and then maybe add like some like sazon to it, you know?
Doing visuals and like creative stuff is always in my mind like 24/7. Yeah, I see something in my mind, it's just like thinking of something. So I love making my own visuals. It's like my favorite thing to do. And ever since Miami, I was kind of doing it. It was just kind of like more like not there yet, you know. I was like still like figuring it out, and I'm still I still am. So like I hear any song or see an outfit or like anything or location, and I just think of like, oh, imagine this, right? You know, it's mainly with songs. When I hear a song, and I'm like, oh, and then this happened, and then this happened, and this person comes in, and then this type of outfit. So that's like how, you know, first like I hear a song, do all that, and then kind of like start putting it together, and like, okay, maybe this dancer, maybe this person will be better at this, or maybe I need more dancers, or like 2 dancers, and then this outfit will work, this location, and then like edit, and like how I want to edit. So that's, do you like, edit the videos yourself as well? I have before. Yeah. Some of them. Some other I have like a videographer done it. Do it. But like I always know what I want. Right. And editing is my main thing. Yeah. Like I know editing is what makes a video. Yes. What it is. I agree. 100%. You know, quality too, obviously. Yeah. I'm very picky. I'm very, very picky, and like I don't do a lot because I'm picky. Yeah, I don't like putting like kind of like fast ass like like visuals, because to me it's like anything I put out that's gonna define me. You know? So if I put out something that's kind of like not janky, good, I'm like, I don't want to be known like, oh, that video. You know, I want to. You know, I always say that I want to do a new visual, and I'm always procrastinating because it's like, I know what I want, and either it's gonna cost me a lot, or it's gonna be a lot of work, or I don't have like the time, all of that. But yeah, I edit some of my videos myself because I always know, or like when I work with a videographer, I always like to like, hey, can I come over to edit with you? Yeah, like, can I like be present while you're editing? A lot of like videographer like to do it themselves.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we get it.
Like
I'll
on
send
their
it to you.
own
And I'm
time.
like, no, no, no.
Yeah.
Because to me, it's like that's my vision, and I know exactly like
what you want.
To me, like again, like editing is very important. So like,
Right.
if a specific part of the song, like I want people to feel this and this
Yeah.
type of thing, and this happens. So when I'm like, I need to be there, or I need to
Yeah.
at least tell you exactly what I want.
Right.
Yeah, I'm very
Right.
like, picky with that.
Right. And when did you get into styling? I feel like that's your main, career, like
Right
your
now,
main
yeah.
job right now. Like what made you want to get into styling? Well, I always known you've been very fashionable, you know, and I feel like being in LA made you like,
Yeah, it was like, oh,
yeah,
it makes sense.
exactly.
Yeah,
Oh, like it
everything
makes sense,
yeah.
like why he's there now, you know, like that's fucking
Yeah.
crazy. So like what made you want to get into styling, and what was like your first, I guess, like gig that you were like, oh my God, like I'm really out here, bitch.
So I always, since a kid, I always been into fashion, some weird way, but I was like, you know, either dress different or like certain things. So like from watching TV or anything, I like something different. Like I remember in elementary in New York, I used to be like in this like fashion club in elementary, and I remember I told my mom to put me, and we did like a little showcase, and you make like little shorts, like. That was like, I guess, the beginning of it. And then like nothing really happened. And then I moved to DR, Miami, New York, Miami, or whatever. Then I did dance. Somehow weird way, like I always liked it, you know, like fashion or like stuff like that. So like, I always said, I want to be a stylist. I want to be a stylist, not knowing exactly what it was.
Right.
You know, like in my head, I'm like, I will always say like, I want to go to fashion school. Or like, I'm not a school person, but after I graduate, I'm like, maybe I can go to fashion school or like whatever that means. Like to be a stylist, you need to go to fashion school, you know, which is not true. But yeah, so like moving here, I was like, I want to be a stylist. I didn't really know exactly what that meant besides like dressing people or like putting a look together. And then I forgot what year, like a couple years ago, I started like my own like fashion thing. Like I created a page, Dose of J.
Oh my God, yes. I remember that.
Yeah, so like
oh my
I did
God.
Dose of J, like I made my Instagram, and then I kind of like would get friends, like literally dance friends or whatever friends, and like would dress them with their own clothes, my own stuff, and like put looks together and then shoot them myself with my phone.
Yeah. And
I
be
did
like
that
styled by
styled by me, like creative, you know, like my concept.
Right.
And then I did a lot of that, like here and there.
Right.
And then in like I forgot, like 2017, one of my close friends at the time, she was on tour with Ariana Grande, and then I would follow everything she would do because she was on tour with her. And then through her, I found like the stylist of the tour, and it was like a designer and a stylist, and I liked their style, and I would follow them on Instagram. I'm like, I love their work. And then one of them posted once like, looking for an intern. And I was like, this is my moment.
This is for me.
I'm like, this is my moment. So I'm like, hey, like I replied to the story, hey, I'm interested in this. This is what I've done.
Yeah.
Like what I've done was like whack. Like, you know, things took in my phone, like, you know, and I'm like, oh, whatever. And I hit him up. He didn't answer because he didn't follow me. So he didn't see my, you know, the story. And then he deleted it because I guess he found someone. And then I'm like, fuck. And then I'm like, how do I like talk to him again? And then I went on his Instagram and I found his email. And then I'm like, hey, I wrote to you. You have an answer.
Hey, bitch.
Right.
Like,
and then he was like, he's like, oh, like, yes, I'll keep you. Like, I found someone, but like, I'll keep you for something else.
Okay.
And then that went back and forth for like a couple like weeks. Like, oh, can you do this? Oh, wait, I got canceled. And then I'm like, I'm never going to work with him. I'm never going to work with him. And then turned out that one time he finally had a job or something. He's like, oh, are you available? And I'm like, tomorrow. And I'm like, yes. And that was the first job I did with him. His name is Joey Tao.
Okay.
He's like,
shout out Joey.
Shout out Joey.
Woo.
So that was my first time working with him, and he like, I was basically an intern. Like I was like ironing, like you know, like steaming and like holding things. It was for a photo shoot for Jordan Fisher.
Okay.
From you know, the actor guy from Disney. It was for him for like a magazine thing, and then that was my first time, and I was just like, oh, and like in that one job I learned so much because it was like I was asking all these questions like, where do you get the clothes from?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you rent them, or like there's this place that you can rent them. And then I'm like, okay, what it is to have like a styling kit,
right,
which is like all you need. And I'm like, oh, so you do that. Like
right.
In one job I was just like, oh wow, it's not just dressing,
right?
Or it's like there's more to it. And I was like, okay. And then through there it had another job coming up. It was the iHeartRadio Awards.
Ooh,
And then
that's
he's
a
like,
big one.
Yeah, I was like, he's like, oh, are you available to work?
Right.
And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, for who? It was Camila. And this when Havana was popping.
Right. Havana.
And like, I love Camila. So I was like, oh, yeah.
I love Camila.
I'm like, so I was like, yeah, I could do it. You know, like,
yeah,
I'm
like
available.
subtle.
I'm available.
Let me check my calendar.
I'm like,
2 seconds later.
Yes.
Yes. Camila,
I'm here. Right. And then we did the iHeartRadio. That was fun. That was my first job. And that was like paid. So I was like, oh,
work.
Money.
Money.
And then through there, like he needed like an assistant. And then we did so much after that. It was like, we did Camila, then we went to New Orleans to do like a photo shoot for Claus, like the show. We worked with like Don Richard, and then all this stuff started happening, and I was just like, oh my God, this is like legit. And I'm like, I'm literally out here. Like it was like shopping and like, yeah, I was like, right. Oh, work. I was like traveling and this, and I was like, oh, work. And then with time, like he called me, he's like, oh, are you available to the Billboard Awards with Ariana Grande? And I was like, Sure. I was like, I'm available. I was like, bitch. And then during that time, I was working. So there's like dance studios out here, a lot of them. So you can work as a work study at a dance studio. And it's like you work in the front desk or like helping around, like getting people in. And then you work basically for free, but they give you like free classes.
Oh, okay.
So that's what a lot of new dancers do out here. They like work at a dance studio like for like 4 hours, and then per hour you get like free classes.
Right.
So you don't have to pay, because that's all we do here is take class.
Right.
So through there, that was fun too. Like I met a lot of people. So it was during that time that I was like doing the styling, and I was.
Did you do it at the dance studio Millennial? Is that what it's called?
I did Movement Lifestyle.
Movement Lifestyle.
Like ML. Shout out ML.
ML.
I love them. Yes, so I did that for like a whole year, and that was also great because I met so many people through there, and they give you so much like opportunities. Like in the semester, you get to like teach your own class. You get to you get to like do a showcase, and you meet so many other people, all the work study, because every month like a new batch comes in.
Right.
So like it was pretty cool. So yeah, during that same time, I was doing like the styling. So I was like, oh, like how do I do this? Plus, I was working at a restaurant.
Oh, really? Like a legit restaurant.
Yeah.
Like
I was legit, like
really.
Yes, a real restaurant. I was a real server. I went to bartending school and got my license for that. Then from there, I got like a bartending job at this restaurant, and then from there, I became a server and basically like serving in the restaurant and doing all that. Then I also taught kids, and I like this after school care program thing. I did that for a while too. And you know, I hate kids. Yeah, I love kids, but I hate teaching kids dance, because there's like also they weren't like dancers. It wasn't like a dance school. It was like I need my kids to do something.
Yeah, like so entertain them.
Yeah, and they were like the parents watching, and I'm like, you know, I'm wanted to do all this like choreography, and I'm like, oh,
you like do a backflip, stretch extra, like a lot
fall out, a clump, you know.
Not the clump. Oh my God, you loved clumps. I think like every other
clump,
like
clump and melt.
I was looking at the.
Oh girl, nah.
That was so good.
But yeah, I did that, and then what else have I done? I worked at Aldo.
Oh yeah, Aldo.
Yes.
Cute.
I used to work in Miami, and then I moved here.
Okay.
Transferred. Which was crazy. I transferred, and I was supposed to be like I got here on a Monday, and then the next Monday I started working. Yeah. I don't know what was happening, and that did not work. They could not find my name. I was coming out like in the system. I was coming out like not hire, like don't hire him. Like you know when you like they get kicked out from work, and I was like confused because like the district manager from Miami transferred me, and everything was set up, and then they couldn't find me. I went on from September all the way to January with no job.
That's crazy.
And then that was a lot. That was like in no car, and didn't know anybody here. So it was just me and my friend, and I was just like, oh my God. And I had like no car, and I wasn't making money. So it was the whole thing. My mom was like, come back. And I'm like, no, I'll figure it out.
I'm not going back.
Taking bus. I'm not a bus person at all. Like, at all.
I'm not
like
a
at
bus
all.
person.
Like, and then I couldn't do Uber because it was like expensive. Yeah. Like I'll spend all my money on it. Yeah. So it was just like I had no car. I didn't know LA. So I was just like, what the fuck? All this stuff. So
when you started in January, you started working for Aldo for real?
Yes, but super far.
Oh, bitch.
That was the one place that got me, was like super, super far. And then I had to like move away, like closer to over there to like, to be closer to work. But it was like even more complicated because I had to do like all this like
back and forth
train, a buzz, and like, it was a mission. But
now we're here. Now you worked for Ariana Grande, fucking Camila Cabello. And I know you were mentioning when we talked about it a couple months ago that Camila Cabello was like super Miami.
Oh my God, yes. I assisted to do her tour when she like was coming up solo, and the last day of the tour, we did like the wrap, and then she had like, I brought food for everybody, like catering. We're like, oh, cute. When I got this, all Cuban food, and I was like,
work, mama,
work. I love it because she's so Miami, and then it's like I'm from Miami, so I was like, oh my God, like
like bonding moment.
Like, I know. So that was fun. It was like croquetas, and and I was like, oh, work. I'm like, this is what I need.
Period.
I did a lot of audience work too. Those were kind of annoying. You know?
Audience work? What is that?
So you know, like when you see like you know the show that have like an audience that always laugh in the background.
Oh, okay, yes.
Like stuff like that.
Like Judge Judy and shit.
Yeah, or like the Masked Singer.
Oh, okay,
like
yes.
in the audience just like clapping. I did one Masked Singer.
Oh, okay, cute. Who was the singer?
I forgot.
You're like, I was too busy clapping.
Yeah,
that's what I got.
You got to do all day. It's clapping and clapping, and then they had me in the front.
Did you change your clap because you got bored?
I was just like, and then I'm like, no, and then they had me in the front. I don't know why. In the front, so they're like, oh, whoever's in the front needs to be like full out at all times. All the cameras are watching. Tell me why. I came out in one episode, like I did one time, and I came out in a clip on TV.
You were not clapping.
No.
Like we're never hiring.
No. So they used that clip and they put it on TV. Tell me why the whole world has sent me that clip. So annoying.
How are you clapping?
No,
can you
like,
imitate it?
I don't know. I was just like, because you have to pretend like you're so into it.
Oh, okay.
So I was just like, wow, you know, like doing the mode that I cut.
I want to put it here. You have to send it to me so I can put it like literally.
I don't even know where to find it, but when I'm telling you, everybody has sent me this clip. They're like, oh my God, I just saw you in my singing. I'm like, oh my God. And tell me why they keep reusing it every other episode. Like
it's because you gave a good performance.
Yes, I was just like,
you're like front and center.
You know, I was on and I was like, bitch. It's like cut, and I'm like, putting me to the back. Like, take me out of here.
So how many of those audience jobs did you do?
A lot.
Wow.
Because it's kind of like a side, like money on the side. That you just like, it's like a website. Also, you sign up, and then every morning or like the night before, you like apply, and then in the morning they'll be like, okay, you got like, we need, you know, people, so you just go, and it's like a whole bunch of like, it's cool because it's kind of cool in a way because you get to see like you like in production,
right?
But you're just there, you know. The best one that I did of those was Drag Race. I'm a Drag Race stan.
Bitch, you were in Drag Race. So that is funny. Fire.
It was funny because my friend Stacy used to live here, and she also used to do the audience work, and then she was in one of them, and she was doing one, and then that night that she was doing, when she was leaving, they said, oh, is anybody available to work tomorrow for a show called Drag Race? And she heard that and she's like, sign me up, and sign my friend up too.
Bitch, fuck yeah.
And then when we met up that night, she's like, bitch, we're gonna Drag Race tomorrow. And I'm like, no way. And then I'm like, yes. So
oh my God, do you know what episode it was, or do you remember? You're like, I'll never forget it.
It was season 11. Season 11. I think it was the second episode. It was like at the beginning. And it was cool because it's like, then I found out that they filmed Drag Race by my old house, like literally less than 10 minutes. And I was like, what the?
It's been here this whole time.
When I'm telling you, I'm a stan. I like Drag Race all day. So it was cool because it was like the new season that hadn't come out. And it was like, I saw all the queens before. The queens,
yeah.
And I was like, oh shit. And,
that's fire.
So it was pretty cool. I do come out in that episode too.
Yeah.
And you see me in the corner.
Were you clapping? You were legit clapping.
I was
Word,
like, babe, don't pay me for this.
Don't pay me. It's free. I'll do it for free.
But yeah, that was one of my favorite ones.
Do they have like strict rules when it comes to like fangirling over like, let's say like RuPaul and shit? Like, do they have?
Yeah, they kind of don't really like go crazy for the celebrities. But there's been nice times that a lot of celebrities are really nice and they come over and they like say hi to everybody.
Yeah.
Like, because a lot of people go to the audience because they actually like it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because they actually like it.
Because sometimes like, oh, I like this show, I want to go to the audience, you know? It's like
Mm-hmm.
everybody wants to go to the Ellen show.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of
That's
like
true.
that,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? But Ellen show is like hard.
Isn't it like a huge list, like a
Yeah.
huge like waiting list?
The Ellen show is hard because there's always giving stuff.
Yeah,
So it's
exactly. They're like, bitch, I gotta go.
Yeah, that one's like harder to get in, but the other ones are like more whatever.
Yeah.
I also did like WOD, the World of Dance.
Word of Dance. Okay.
J-Lo
Oh,
was
World of Dance.
the show.
Yes.
The
I
NBC
love that show.
And I saw J-Lo and I'm like, also I'm like, so that was fun because it's like
Dancing,
you
yeah.
know, but it's just long hours.
Yeah.
You know, I've also done The Voice. Like, you know, you're just there like as an
Oh.
audience, you know, like clapping basically.
Yeah.
But those are annoying to me. That was like things that I had to do to make
Yeah.
like money. What else have I done? I don't
You're
know.
like, there's just so many teams.
Yeah. It's just like a lot of random shit, you know.
And
just
what are
to,
you
like,
currently doing right now? Are you like in the works of doing anything like a creative concept or a video or like anything like artists that you're working for right now with Joey?
Yeah. So in 2019, I decided I'm like, I don't want to work anymore. I'm like, I quit the restaurant and I'm like, I'm going to just focus on this. I call my mom and I'm like, I don't know what to do. She's like, well, quit. Like, if that's what you want to do. And I'm like, okay. And then I quit because I was booking a lot on my own too.
Yeah.
I did like a whole bunch of jobs and I was like, oh,
Work.
the moment's here. My time has come. And then I quit my job because I used to work on the weekend and the weekend will always fuck me up, like everything. Because I was like, I was going at 5 or 4 and then I'm like, oh, I have no time.
Yeah.
So then I quit and like in the summer. And then right after, everything just went down. Like I was not getting any jobs and I was like, fuck.
Right.
So that was like a really hard time. Because I quit and then everything just like I wasn't working or anything. And I was like, fuck. And then from there, I started working with Joey again because we take like times. Yeah. So I started working with Joey again. So I've been basically doing freelance styling since then. So like I'll get my own stuff here and there.
Right.
Or like I have other friends that, other stylist friends that I assist them, you know, like I work with. But currently I work mainly with him, with Joey. After like when we met to like what we are now, we're like great friends now. Like literally see him all the time.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna be in his wedding. Like
Oh my God, that's so cute.
So
I
now
love
we're
that.
like really good friends now. So like we work all the time and we've gone through a lot of crazy jobs, a lot of crazy jobs. And yeah, that's mainly what I'm doing out right now.
Okay.
I still want to, I'm doing styling and I love styling. I don't want to do it forever.
Right.
I like creating, you know, I love creating like concepts and stuff like that, which connects with fashion too,
Right,
you know, in a way, because I love fashion. So like I always put that in my work. So, yeah, I do styling, you know, that's like how I make my money, but, I want to create more. Like, that's what I want to like. I have 1,000 concepts in my head, or like a playlist of music that I can do anything with. I just want to like start doing them, you know, like create my own visuals, put them out there, seeing people can see my art and like whatever. And then hopefully maybe one time someone will see it, pick it up, Beyonce, like, who's that?
Who directed this?
Like, who's this
Who's
guy?
the creative director behind this? Me,
Like,
Beyonce?
It's Beyonce.
Like inspo from Beyonce? Like, do you know her? Like,
Get it?
do you get it? Hire me.
But yeah, so that's mainly what I want to be doing now, like creating. I always want to be creating my work until like I start getting paid for it, or like, you know.
Do you think your life would have been differently if you would have stayed in Miami?
I always think about this. I don't know. I guess, because I feel like I wouldn't gotten into fashion in Miami. I think I would have been dancing more or like sticking that, even though I was really kind of like getting over it,
right?
Of like the like the pattern of the dancing in Miami. I was just like, okay, it's like
it's a lot of Latin artists over there,
Latin
like Primos Juventud and
I
shit,
love Latin. It's my main thing. I love Latin music and stuff. But like I was saying earlier, like I wasn't that dancer that you know, my style was either too. I was not manly enough or like too masculine for this, and I'm like, my style was different. My hair was too different, or like, and I like change my hair all the time,
Yeah.
like a color or like a braid or like I want to dress. So I was never like what they wanted. So with time, I just started getting over it.
Yeah.
So I feel like I think I would have kept dancing and probably been creating more like concept because I was already doing that in Miami. So maybe I would have been something else, but I'm here.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it probably could have been different, yeah, but I you know, I met so many people here and so many like I done so much and like
you got in
LA
so many
is
opportunities.
LA
yeah.
is freaking crazy
When it comes to opportunities.
Yeah, there's a lot out there. You just gotta be hungry and you gotta be out there.
Yeah,
because if you sleep for like 2 seconds, someone's behind you like
already doing it. Yeah.
So you got there's so many concepts and ideas that I have. I'm like, oh, it'd be so cool. Da 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 da. And then next week I see it out and I'm like,
fuck.
You know, I should.
Wow, I should have stepped it up and should have done it.
I should have done it. But
fuck.
But yeah, yeah. I it probably would have been different, but we're here.
We're here.
So, yeah.
Damn, I don't know. I feel like being out here has made me really like think about like being here.
Yeah.
For a long time. Not just a
I
week.
feel like you'll do great here.
Yeah.
You'll do great here. There's so many opportunities, so many people to meet. There's so many people you meet here. You meet people
100%.
all the time. And then so many like it's inspirational.
Yeah, because I feel like over there, like the struggle that I deal with being in Miami is that it's hard to find people who put in the same amount of effort in a concept and of like how you do it, you know? And I feel like here, since everyone is trying to make it, like everyone is willing to put in the work, you know, to create these concepts. Exactly. Over there, it's hard to find. Like I have my people and like so far, those are the like literally the people that I stick with, you know? And it's hard to find people that are going to like create that same effort into your concepts.
It's kind of hard here because there's a lot of people.
Right.
It's like it's like a whole 360 because in Miami there's not a lot of people here. There's too many people.
Right.
So you gotta like play around with everybody until you find your people.
Right.
That see everything how you see it. You know. So it takes a while to like
find
that. To find that you like try different
niche,
people and then, but once you find that, you just like go for it. And then there's so much here to do. So many like. It's like easier for a lot of like creative stuff. There's so many like when it comes to fashion, when it comes to locations, when it comes to like this and that. It's crazy because it's here anywhere. It's like since LA, it's like you need a permit to film here. You need this, you know, like it's so like that, like everywhere. Like you will wake up randomly and outside your building, there's like a poster saying, "Hey, we'll be filming here for da da da," and then you see like a show happening right outside or something, you know.
Right.
But that's the fun part of LA. There's always something going on. But I feel like you'll do great here because there's so many opportunities and it's just inspiring, you know. But in Miami, I never was doing much like creative stuff. That's why when I went back and we were like, I'd never been to a studio in Miami, like where you work. And I was like, oh, work, this is like LA. But like I've never done it here. Right. You know, and there's not that many people, you know.
Yeah. I feel like in Miami, it's a very small sector. Like literally it's like Wynwood and then like maybe like Fort Lauderdale that has like a couple of studios and stuff. I do see Miami growing in the creative, the creative community. I definitely see that, but I definitely feel like here, since it's already in motion, like there's literally like a shitload of studios like here. Like we give you like the tools and you just fucking Peer Space, bro. That's how I booked this studio. Shout out Peer Space, like non-spons, but like sponsor me.
Yeah, here is like crazy because there's so much all the time. Like, and it's not 100%. Weird. People just know like everybody's an artist, everybody's into something. It's just like there's a lot. But I do see Miami growing more and more and more. For sure. It's just a slow rise. But it'll get there. Yeah. I love Miami. Yeah. Like nobody, like I was rapping like, where you from? Miami. You know. And
I also think like the scenery over there is also really beautiful. I know like LA like has its it definitely has its scenery, but like Miami is definitely up there with like landscape, like the beaches, period.
Nothing compares to Miami. Yeah. Like the nightlife, the people, the culture. Yeah. Is 100% different than, you know, it's more new. It's more like
and
nicer.
I low-key feel like some of the spots here in LA are like taking the swag from Miami. We went, me and Johnny went to like this brewery and it literally looked like Miami and they were playing Bad Bunny and shit. And I'm like, yo, I literally feel like I'm home. Like, what the fuck?
What is this?
Yeah. Okay, well, I think we can wrap up. You literally answered everything that I had here. So I want to say thank you so much for coming onto my podcast. I feel like you're very motivational and seeing you put in the work for what you want to do has made me do exactly that, you know.
I love it.
You know, and I feel like the reason why I look up to you so much is because like we came literally from the same place. Like
Literally.
you went to the same high school. You were like my fucking captain. Like you were my coach. And then like boom, like you're really out here in LA fucking styling for Ariana Grande. Like literally you can do anything. So I see that and I'm like, period. Like I know, you know, you can get somewhere if you just put in the work. So I feel like this story is gonna inspire a lot of people. I mean, it inspires me. So that's really why I wanted to have you on my podcast. And yeah, thank you so much for coming out. And we're really out here in LA doing a whole ass podcast, bitch. Period. Shout out Mob Journal for picking us because y'all really came through with the fame. Cover girl. Period.
When I saw the hard copy, I freaked out because I thought it was like an online thing, and I was like,
"No, you're like, bitch, that's me."
I'm like, I need like 5.
Bitch, yes.
But yeah, thank you for having me, and I'm like, I always so happy seeing everything you're doing and how focused you are and all this. You know, like again, coming from like coaching you from like, you know, little high school dance to like where you are now and everything. Like, you know, a lot of people in Miami are not doing that. And it's so amazing. And I've seen it from years now. And I've been, when you were, you know, starting off, I'm like, I've been seeing it. I might not say anything, but like, I'm always watching and I'm like, work. You know, and I love that, you know, you're here and thank you for having me. Like, we already have like a whole bunch of like stuff that we've done together.
Exactly.
Like, collabs.
Period.
But yeah.
Awesome. Yay. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this special edition of FrannyTings featuring John and LA. Featuring LA, bitch. Like, period. Anyways, love you guys. And where can they find you? Where can they find you on Instagram, your socials?
My Instagram, it's Johnsay with a Z.
Period.
And that's my Instagram, my Twitter, my YouTube, or
Everything.
John Jimenez, anywhere. TikTok. I barely post, but you find me there too. But mainly my main social is Instagram. That's where I mainly post everything.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Well, follow him on all platforms if you want to see his concept and his future concepts that he will be working on soon. And yeah, have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.